Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today I'm going to be gushing all over the trailer that's playing in the background for Elden Ring. We got official gameplay reveal. Freaking amazing for the Summer Game Fest 2021. Now, this game is going to be releasing. We have a release date here. January 21st, next year. So that's not too far away, you know? We've got half a year away, 6 months, and we will be playing finally a new official Souls game. Or it's not in the Souls universe, though that's all debatable. Maybe they're all connected. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, who knows? Whatever. I'm not into that whole Pixar theory shit, but basically, what I want to say is a whole lot of stuff. I just want to say it looks really good and why it all looks really good. Because all we have is gameplay. All we have is, like, here's footage, you know, and we can only theorize from that. So I'm going to save the theories for, you know, the Souls content creators like VaatiVidya. Like, they're going to dive into this and all that. And I'm sure they have some behind-the-scenes information that maybe they can tease out here. But for me, what I want to look at is basically just the trailer, just what's, you know, how different does it look? What mechanics can we glean from it? And does it look good? Is it exciting? Well, they kind of dropped a 3-minute freaking gameplay trailer with voice acting, with acrobatic, you know, bombastic, explosive gameplay, literally explosive gameplay. There's a part where a dragon catches a fucking lightning bolt and then throws it. What? Are we Kamehameha magic? Yeah, I know, it's going to be ridiculous. But at the same time, we have mounts, and there is literal acrobatics stuff going on, almost like wuxia style stuff. I've only seen these sort of mechanics in Asian and Eastern style games, so I mean, hey, that makes sense. But it's a Western mixed game. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but a little bit more acrobatic. It looks like we are going to be having a little bit more motion with our action combat, maybe a little less clunkiness. Seems like they've been learning lessons, at least from the transition of Dark Souls 2 to 3, and then Bloodborne and Sekiro. We're getting a little bit more mobility, movement, and agility. I really appreciate that. But still, this time, it's still an RPG. We're keeping the magic. We're keeping, you know, the customization. To what extent, I don't know, but it just looks like Elden Ring might be a combination of everything that From Software has learned over the years. Though, also, there's some things to talk about that don't look good. If we can just kind of, you know, shit that out real quick. Immediately, I can see that, you know, the graphics aren't, like, super crazy next generation. Also, keep in mind that this is actually being built with last generation consoles in mind. And this was kind of something that people didn't like with Dark Souls 2, how they degraded the graphics and everything over time. So I you know, I'm a little bit worried. I have not actually finished Bloodborne, as much of a fan as I am of all these games, because of the frame rate issues on PS4. So I'm a little bit worried of what's going to happen, but what I do know is I'm going to get it for PC, and it's probably going to run great, but is there going to be some things that have been detrimented, you know, because it's trying to run on consoles? For instance, if you play Dark Souls, especially 3, you might notice in the distance you'll be able to see creatures, but their frame rates are severely limited, so they kind of look like stop motion until they get closer. And you just really notice it. And this happens a lot in a lot of games. I see it in Monster Hunter, I see it in a ton of games. But then again, these are games that also are built for console first, and then, you know, I'm just a PC master racer, that's all I'm saying. So graphically, I think artistically it looks great, but graphically, fidelity-wise, I'm a little worried that it's not going to be as potent as it could be for a 2022 game. And especially, you have to keep in mind that we're supposed to be on this next generation of gaming hardware. But in saying that, hey, you know, graphics don't really matter that much. It is the art style. It is how fast and fresh it runs. And since Dark Souls 3, no, I'm pretty sure it's going to run great. I'm pretty sure this is going to run and play pretty swimmingly. There is something, though, that I would like to just kind of ramble about, because I think the gameplay kind of speaks for itself. If that's cool, I don't need to just, you know, point out every little thing like everyone else is going to do. Let's talk about one thing that I do want to mention about performance, since we're already on it. The netcode, the online. Not everyone plays these games online, but a lot of people do. A ton of people do. In fact, so much so that there are recurring yearly events called Return to, you know, Lordaeron or whatever city is in these different games. So everyone goes and replays and co-ops and PvPs in Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne every single year. So the online components to these games really matter to a lot of people. The co-op, the invasion, the fight clubs, the arenas, this sort of stuff is kind of what I live for. That's why I cover MMOs and games like Monster Hunter and stuff like that. So Elden Ring, you know, you can see from the footage there was phantoms. You will be summoning those. And I'm just wondering, are we going to get like a return to almost a competitive rated arena, kind of like what they were trying to do with Dark Souls 3? Will it be better? Are we going to have better invasion mechanics? Are they going to be more balanced, more fair, more rewards, and more incentivizations to play in such a way? I really hope so. That is the part of these games that I really like, and it's actually, don't hate me, but the lack of online is why I didn't play Sekiro. So just showing you what I care about, my incentivization for playing these games. I freaking loved the arena in Dark Souls 3, though actually I loved PvP in Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 1, yes, I loved, co-oping and stuff like that. So good. But, what I want to say is, in terms of peer-to-peer, in terms of netcode, I'm still really fucking worried about that. We've seen a lot of games that just kind of, it's okay, because I don't know why. Like, Warframe, it sucks, netcode sucks. And even in a lot of console games, like, it just generally sucks. And a lot of fighting games, for a long time, it just sucks. And people are just, well, that's just the way it is. You play these games for a different way. Like fighting games, you play, local or at the arcades. A lot of games like Warframe, oh, it's PvE, it doesn't matter. But Souls games, I don't know. I just always felt like they could have been so good. They could have been full on esports. If Castle Crashers was on Game Battles, fuck it. I don't see why Dark Souls could not have been an esport. Not that I'm saying I'm trying to go in that direction, but why not? Just make the netcode good. Because I think you guys have played the single player and know how solid that is. And then as soon as you go to do PvP, it's like lagging, backsteps. It's almost like you're playing against, mirages of opponents. There's almost like a wind to the game. Like you have to lead attack so hard, and locking on is basically asking to miss. Things like a lot of broken shit. Like the game is frankly broken and the balance is really broken. So I do hope that they actually do, learning from Dark Souls 2 and 3 and, all their mistakes and everything. I hope they learn and make a really fine-tuned product. Like if you're going to have online, if you're going to have these really interesting communities being built up in your game, you need to acknowledge it and be like, oh, hey, fight clubs. Oh, hey, arenas. Oh, hey, the co-op. We can actually make this shit really good. So we should. So I hope that the focus does go in that. Okay, rambled about that long enough, because the gameplay is just singing. It's a fucking chorus, isn't it? What a symphony is happening in the background of this video. God dang. Okay, all I can really mention is the environmentals, right? We're gonna get a lot of those epic sweeping, like, landscape moments where it's like, holy shit, we're Alice in Wonderland. We're jumping down into this ridiculous, dark, and mysterious and magical rabbit hole. What's gonna happen? What lays before us? But a lot of the environments do look very similar, from what we've played before. And I think everyone's okay with that, to be honest. I don't think that we have gotten too old of it yet. Even though we played Dark Souls 1 through 3, we played Bloodborne, I think Elden Ring looks very Dark Souls, but I don't know, I just think we're ready for it again. It's been enough time, let's jump back in. I mean, there's a reason why we keep playing modern military shooters. Fuck it, So, anyways, but yeah, no, I guess it should be mentioned, there are some locations that look, like, kind of ripped, but I have a feeling they're gonna take a fresh spin on it and make it its own, which is kind of what they've always done. So actually, From Software's really good. If you've ever played Armored Core, they're really good at remixing shit that they've done before. Basically reselling the same game and yet it being totally different. So I think it could be great, especially because the mechanics, the gameplay look fun as hell with jumping around, riding the horse. Probably a more open-ended, open areas is going to be pretty different. The few open areas in like Dark Souls 2 especially, some of the bigger arenas, bigger boss fights were magical. And in fact, that's what inspired me to go and play Monster Hunter World, and I really do appreciate the more openish zones of Monster Hunter World, so I hope we do get kind of that. I'm not asking for an open world, I'm just asking for a little bit more openness in my 3D Metroidvanias, is all, and I think that's what we're getting with Elden Ring. Also, the monster design. Oh my god, I could sing about this. Holy shit. What the hell is happening? What is going on with the monsters? It's like there's people with like who have arms that then have like 20 arms on their arms. It's like some weird, ridiculous, trippy, I don't know, just From Software shit, right? So it just looks like nothing else. And I think the only thing you can say while looking at this trailer is this looks as Souls as fuck, right? Like I know though you can notice some models, some characters, and some overall designs, some overall motifs definitely reoccurring from both Bloodborne, but mainly the Souls, series. So I don't know what's going on with that, or how that's going to feel, but overall, it just looks really good. Especially, yeah, we can compare it to like old Souls games all we want, but in the end, compare it to like other RPGs, right? Of course, Skyrim, that's always getting re-released or whatever. There's a bunch of indie RPGs coming up, action RPGs, or Monster Hunter. Look at games like that, and then look at fucking Dark Souls, or look at Elden Ring now. Right, nothing else looks like this, so I'm feeling really good about it, and I'm really intrigued about the world. Again, I think the monster design says a lot of what the fuck is going on, as in, I have no idea what's going on, and I think that's a really cool thing. So, the story and the lore is also, the world building is being helped out by George R.R. Martin, actually jumping in here. He's a partner with the creation of this game, and I have a feeling it's going to be esoteric as fuck. And here's the thing though. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all these games, they have been esoteric and vague and almost poetic, and I want that, but I want to end cap the video by saying, hopefully with George R.R. Martin, then again, he's never really end capped his own book series, but hopefully with him that we actually have all these dangling threads, magical and spiraling everywhere, ebbing and flowing and entwining. Hopefully there's actually like a resolution to some of these things, right? And, maybe a complete story can be fully told. Then again, it's like, well, that's kind of the moral of Dark Souls. I don't know, whatever. But I do hope that we finally have that juicy, chunky, tasty resolutions that we can actually, even if we have to theory craft about it, hopefully we actually do get that, because that is part of the fun of Dark Souls, was the theory crafting and creating the stories, but all of them ended with like a comma, basically. And I'm really hoping that Elden Ring has a nice, sexy period, at least for a couple of the arcs, or morals inside of the game. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be grimdark. It looks like it's going to be Dark Souls. It looks like it's going to be, a little bit more acrobatic and faster paced. It looks like a Dark Souls 3, 2, if that makes sense. Dark Souls 3, 2. Just bigger, better, more epic, more ridiculous. And yeah, I think that's going to be cool. For me, as long as cooperation, it feels good, it's less laggy. It was actually really fucking buggy in Dark Souls 3 at the very beginning. As long as that's all fine-tuned and runs well, then yeah, I'm going to be running fight clubs. I'm going to be PvPing. I'll be doing, co-op. Maybe we'll do even co-op speed runs. And actually, can I actually say that if there's any feature that I want from Elden Ring, which maybe we'll talk more about it later, but if there's any feature that I want from Elden Ring, there's just one feature that would really just kind of change how I play the whole fucking series. I really want the ability to fully be able to, co-op with someone, instead of having very specific points where I have to resummon them, and then, like, we have to be the same level, and it's just like, the co-op system in Dark Souls is really awkward, and it's not really meant for friends, it's meant for randoms. And I get it, that's like its own poetry, that's what it's trying to do, but with Elden Ring, I really do want to play. I would love to play with you guys. I would love to play through this game all the way through with you guys, a party of, 3 of you guys joining me or something like that. Or we have fight clubs, and I just want it to be a little bit easier to actually play online with people, because these games actually are so good online. The cooperation by being a healer and having someone being a tank, or, both of you going roguish and just running around berserking around, there's so many different ways you can actually play cooperatively with these titles, and I hope that they enhance that situation, those scenarios in the game. Like, if you do co-op, then it doubles the enemies, or it doubles their health, or it adds new challenges, or they have specific co-op, challenge areas, or things like that, which was kind of, sort of, ish done in Dark Souls 2 DLC, but yeah, in the end, I just want Elden Ring to be a bigger, better Dark Souls in every single way that I appreciate the series. Now, some people would argue, well, it should just be focused on single player. And some people would be like, oh, it should just be an MMO, open world MMO, let's go. Well, fuck it, why not, right? I don't know, but in the end, I do want Dark Souls, just bigger, better, more refined, because it's always been a lot of these weird ideas, kind of duct taped together, and then sometimes ripped off, and then reapplied, and I think with Elden Ring, this is like their big push forward, especially with it being a new name, that this is finally where they can kind of homogenize a lot of the weird concepts, make it more stable with a more structure, and then throw us into, of course, that mysterious and magical weird worlds that we're so excited to play in again. So that's pretty much all I got to say. I think I've ranted about everything I could have, that I'm allowed to. Just replayed the trailer fucking 5 times, I think, but that's it. Much love, friends and family. What do you guys think of Elden Ring? Let me know all your feelings. Leave it in the comments below, keyboard warriors. And that's pretty much it. Much love. I will see you in the next one.